Welcome to my first live stream ever. This is some weird stuff. I really do appreciate you being here. I can see there's a few people in the chat already. Thank you for coming in. I'm just going to let everything come together because there is a bit of a delay, and this is a bit of a weird experience of just talking to this tiny little dot right in front of me. So I can see that I've got Aaron FitLab, you're here as well, and I can see Cam, you're here as well. So great to see you guys here. I'm just going to give it a moment a bit more for some folks to jump in. But while we wait, feel free to jump in, leave a comment. If you are still arriving, don't be shy. Make sure you do drop a comment below and introduce yourself, say hi to the chat. I might not get to the chat. I might not be able to answer all the questions. I've got so many things going on at the moment. I've got, obviously, I'm using StreamYard right in front of me. I've got my show notes, and then I've got my iPad right next to me as well, which has all the stuff happening on the side. So super exciting. It's all a bit nerve-wracking, a bit overwhelming, to be honest. All right. Let's see who else is jumping in. So we've got Aaron from FitLab. Thanks for being here, mate. We've got Cameron. Yo, what's up, man? We've got the Husky Runner. Thanks for being here. We've even got Mum in here to say hi, and I'm probably thinking Dad's there as well. So thanks, Mum. Thanks, Dad. And I've got Sean Sticks. Thanks, mate, and thank you for the happy birthday. I've been trying to, I haven't mentioned this to anyone, but yes, this is my first live stream, and it's also my birthday today. I've tried to not make it about my birthday. The only reason I've done it today on my birthday is because I've had the day off, so I've had plenty of time to kind of make this happen, think about it, and just get into it. So thank you, Sean. I do appreciate that. Thanks, Aaron. It's actually quite interesting because I'm seeing all these comments coming through, but I know there's also a bit of a delay. So I'm talking, yet you guys are probably about 15 seconds behind. So it's all a bit too weird. It's all quite funny. We've got Chris from Here We Are Running. Hey, Chris, thanks for being here, mate. I'm seeing all the happy birthdays come in now. Thanks for all the happy birthdays. All right, Aaron from FitLab, you're asking how old I am now. I'm not going to say this straight up. I'm going to give everyone a chance to kind of guess. I know some of you already know this, so don't go spoiling it if you already know, but more than happy for you to put in the comments of your guesses. And while you do that, I'm going to just talk a bit about what's the intent here. Oh, I've also got, there is Dad. Thanks, Dad. Miles, thanks for being here as well. Oh, it's all quite overwhelming. So many people at the same time. All right, while there's a few more people jumping in, let's just quickly put a bit of a high-level agenda of what I actually want to achieve out of this video. And I was actually chatting to Brad from My BS Life, and he was saying, to put some structure around this video and to do this video or this live stream as if no one was here. So if you guys weren't rocking up, I was going to do this anyway. But now that I've got all of you here, it's all a bit, it's all very exciting and a bit overwhelming. So thank you. So, what I want to talk about is just, a bit about myself, a bit about the channel and how I've gotten here from date. So from starting my running journey to also starting the YouTube journey. We'll touch on about the current series on the channel, which is the marathon training plan, obviously, which a lot of you have probably, known and just been watching in the last about 16 weeks. However, obviously, my channel's been around for a very long time. We'll also do a deeper dive into the marathon series, and then we're going to finish off with a Q&A as well. A few more people jumping in. Run with Brad. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. Oh, this is great. Super, super good. All right, so if you see me moving around, I've actually got, and I'll have to post this up in one of my videos. I've got my show notes in front of me. I've got my iPad right next to me. So if you see me moving around, it's because I'm trying to moderate things at the same time, trying to do it all by myself. It's all a bit weird. All right, so let's get into it. Live stream number 1. We've touched on the agenda, and if you've got questions along the way, please do put them in, and I will be more than happy to answer them. We'll try to answer them at the end, and if I get too many questions or whatnot, maybe I can do that in a follow-up video in just one of my weekly series. Kevin, my man, how are you doing? Thanks for being here. It must be about 7:30 a.m. in Canada, if I'm correct. It's it was really interesting. And that's actually one thing that I want to kind of start with is trying to build a live stream for an audience with so many different locations. So obviously Melbourne, Australia. This video, I mean, I'm in Melbourne, Australia, but I've got people from Canada, got people from east and west side of America. I've got people in London, UK. I've got people. I think that's the majority of where my audience is, but I've also got people in some really random locations as well. So to try and meet that time zone difference across the board, it's a huge challenge. But there is a cool feature on YouTube that you can do that with. So if you have a question about that, let me know. It's if you're thinking of doing one yourself, more than happy to share. All right, I'm getting so many comments now. This is happy birthday, thank you. Oh, happy birthday, Brad, to your to your wife for yesterday. Thanks, Kevin. Yes, I'm sitting down, Cameron. I'm not going to run now. Jeff, thanks for being here. Yeah, you're from South Africa, mate. I almost forgot that, and it's an early rise for you too. So thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. Wow. Okay. All right. We need to get started. Otherwise, we're not going to start. It's so crazy. So crazy. Jeepers. All right. All right. Let's do this. All right. So a bit about myself. Now, if you don't know this, that's why we're doing it. But if you do know this, maybe you'll learn something new. Who knows? So been running for about 6 years and been doing YouTube. Actually, a lot of you won't know this. Since 2011, I started my first video back in 2011, and there were actually some gaming videos, and I kind of probably did 6 or 7, and they're all private now. And I kind of have 6 or 7, which I think it wasn't until about 4 years back, so it must have been 2017, 2016, that when I actually thought about doing a serious video or a serious channel, and in this case on running, that I actually I hid those old stuff and got into the intention of running, and here we are now, right? And it's been 4 years of a journey of what's been very exciting, very overwhelming, and sometimes it's a challenge as well, right? Because you're trying to put out a lot, but there's so many different things to manage, whether it's the subs, the comments, the likes, and everything in between. The analytics can be quite overwhelming. So it's been a journey. I started originally with running vlogs with the intention of, I felt like, I was enjoying the running and just, looking and seeing what I was seeing while running. So I figured, well, maybe someone else wants to see this. And, not knowing how bad that would come out on a, original GoPro 4, of how blurry, how shaky and whatnot. And we've come a long way, but that was the whole intent here, was to take you guys on a journey, to share my running experience. And then it moved from just, these vlogs, but into more of the actual journey itself, how I was progressing, moving from a 5K to my first 10K to a 15K to multiple half marathons to my first full marathon last year. And obviously now moving on to my second marathon in training. And there's been a lot of different things along the way as well. We've had race videos, we've had reviews, especially around New Balance, and we've done a lot of collabs, and there's even some drone footage and a bunch of different things. So if you haven't seen those videos, make sure you jump back into the different playlists and dive deeper into the channel, because there's a lot of interesting things. So that's a bit of a brief history about, not very much about myself, but more about the channel and my running journey. I'm just going to pause and quickly go back and see what I've got happening here. I've got some folks from New York. Yeah, Aaron. Miles, you're saying between my Q&A, I should say, yes, that's a very good one. And actually, I'm just in your analytics. I'm just going to answer it on air. In your analytics, if you go across to your audience, you can have a look and see when the majority of your audience is online. Now, for me, in my local time was 10 p.m., which meant I figured, well, if I'm going to do this at 10 p.m., why don't I start 30 minutes before and finish 30 minutes after? That way I should get the peak across everything. So that is the hot tip number one for this live stream. Love the overlay. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, so using the StreamYard, which was a shout out from Brad from My BS Life, and he recommended this, and I had no idea how simple it was going to be, and it's super cool. So highly recommend it. I know Kevin, you've been using it for a while, and you used it with Vince just the other day. So it's super good stuff. All right. Oh, it's halfway through the day already for Jeff. Okay, that's good there. Not too bad for you. That's good. And today's the 25th, obviously for me. So I think for some of you, it is the 25th. I don't think any of you are still on the 24th anymore. I think by now you should all be back on the 25th. All right. Just wow, there's so many comments. This is great. Really do appreciate this so much, guys. So good. And I should release one of the old videos when I hit 500 subs. That's actually a good point, Stephen, from the Husky Runner. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a video game from GTA 5. It was just, me running around doing stupid things. So yeah, I must have been cheapest 2011. That's going back a while. Yeah, I think that could be something to do. Oh, Aaron, that's pretty cool. That's cool. That's awesome. It's good that, it's weird because I've connected with so many of you, obviously, via YouTube and from this journey, some just recently and some over the last 4 years. Whereas it's cool that some of you also are like super close and be able to connect in person as well, let alone connecting on YouTube. So that's really great, Aaron. I think that's awesome. Jeff, yeah, I thought you would like that because, you're a streamer as well. So, all right, good grief. There's so many comments just going through. All right, it looks like jeepers. Thanks, Cam. Yeah, it's so close to 500. I'm on 491 at the moment, so not too far away. But let's see. All right, I'm going to. Okay, I'm just going down for. All right, we're going to move on. I'm going to jump across and start to do my. And I've already forgotten to do it. The banners. So we touched on the about me and the channel journey. Right, so if you do have questions about that, leave them in the chat, and if I don't answer them right now, we can come back to that either later or we will jump on that in another video. So kind of what I want to focus on next is, what the current series is, which is the marathon training plan, which probably in the last, I guess, and I'll probably get into that a bit later, but since June, I've probably grown about 180 subscribers, and a lot of that has come during this marathon training plan. So I think people that are going to be seeing this, obviously, I know a lot of you folks have been here for a while, but people that are going to see this later, this is going to be most relevant to them because this is how they found my channel. So just to recap for everyone, the current series is meant to be originally 18 weeks. It's been extended to 20 weeks, and that's basically just sharing my journey of my marathon training plan for 2020. I'm at to week, I just released week number 16 just today, and I'm about to finish week 17. So it's been quite an aggressive journey. These videos, however, have been quite different to what I've done in the past. Previously, I've probably done around an average of 12-minute videos, 10-minute videos, but whereas these have started at 10 minutes, and I think I've peaked at about, jeepers, an hour and 20 minutes in length. So they're beasts of videos. And as I like to say, I'm using timestamps in these videos to give to you guys a buffet of information. That seems to be my key phrase in these videos. So yeah, do check it out if you haven't. If you're new here as well, go back and have a look. But I think the power of timestamps and these longer videos are so important, right? And that's probably one other hot tip I wanted to share in this video is, when you are doing your content, whether it's something like mine really long, or even if it is short, putting in those timestamps enables people to just jump in where they want to be, what do they want to see, rather than having to jump around or go through a whole video. Because if they get bored, they're going to leave. I'd rather have them jump around and see something which is exciting and, stick around for a bit longer and get that view time up a bit further. All right, so yeah, so coming back to around the videos, the footage is actually over an entire week. So rather than trying to do a video a day or per run, which I am filming per run, but I'm not able to obviously, do the video editing and whatnot over a single day and get it out. It's just not possible. So using that extra time to do an entire week's worth of content and then release it into that longer video has been a lot easier for me. And that's primarily the reason why I'm doing it that way. And the marathon plan itself has been a huge increase to what I've done in the past, but at the same time, so has the video, I guess the load and volume of video as well, in terms of footage that I have to crunch through and building that story and telling or sharing the journey, right? It's quite a step up. So something very, very, very different. All right, gee, there's so many comments. This is I'm loving the chit chat in the in the chat, guys. This is really good. Good to see you all sharing and catching up with each other. I know a lot of you do know each other, and some of you are just just meeting for the first time. FitLab, yeah, that would have been nice, man. I don't think we'll be leaving international anytime soon. It's going to be a long time. Oh, Cameron, mate, you're really pushing the sub count. Really, really, really do appreciate it, mate. Oh, Carla, got you here. So everyone, if you haven't actually met Carla, Carla's my girlfriend, and she's usually in my videos, but because of the current situations, we're separated. So it's yeah, just usually a lot of. It's actually almost as if we're doing a long distance relationship, kind of. So thanks for being here, babe. Really do appreciate it. All right, I've got the cheapest. Yeah, run with. I remember. I'm pretty sure when I first connected with your channel, I think I put in a whole bunch of timestamps, and that was one of my, I guess, one of my little life hacks or YouTube hacks that I was doing was jumping around to people's channels, watching them, and putting in the timestamps for them to show that I've watched the entire video, to show that hey, I'm actually interested in your content and do this because one, it's going to make my life easier, and two, I think it's going to be so much better for you and your viewers. So. It's so great that you've taken that on board, and I think it's such a it doesn't take very long to do, and it's something that brings such huge value to someone that's watching it. Oh, that's a very Aaron, yes, that's very true. Okay, so Tim, thanks for being here, man. Really do appreciate it. Do you ever just run without the video? Look, in some of these in the training plan of late, there's some, especially if I'm doing like a 5K or something, or the shorter runs, not too far. Sometimes the longer runs, I'm using the dropping down the camera, getting the footage as a chance to kind of just breathe and take a walker, just like what you would have done in your ultra. Whereas there's sometimes when I get into a groove, if I'm sitting at 21K and I'm feeling like I'm just sitting on that glide, I'm grooving, I do not want to stop. So, sometimes I'm just like, nah, stuff it. I don't need the footage because, I've already got like 10, 12Ks worth of footage previously. So, yeah, there is times, but, other times I feel like if I don't have my camera with me, I'm missing out on an opportunity. But there is times where, I don't try to overdo it and I don't force the content. I like to bring it out naturally. Or if I see something that I think, oh, that would make a good shot, then I would do that as well. So that's a very good question. Oh, Jeep, it's just reading through all this. Good grief. All right. Yeah, sure. And it's cool. And now I'm going to be doing it virtual, which is gonna segue into my next part of this live stream, which is kind of deep diving into the plan, right? And it's, as I mentioned, it's been a 17-week journey so far. I'm in week 17, and the plan will be a total of 20 weeks. Originally meant to be an 18-week plan, so I was originally meant to do the marathon on the 4th of October, but that's been changed. So we'll get to that in a second. But then what I want to talk about right now is what is the goal? So if you don't know, my previous time for my marathon was 4:45, and now my new goal is, well, I actually want 4:30, but I actually really want 4:25 to beat Carla because she got 4:26. So really trying to just beat it just by that little bit. So that's the goal, 4:25, 4 hours and 25 minutes. And so this whole plan has been focusing more on speed work and trying to gain that time back. And obviously endurance comes with that. So the training plan has been, training 5 times a week, which has been a series of different runs. So we're talking tempo and speed work, the endurance runs itself, benchmark runs, which is basically 5 minutes warm up, 3 minutes just smashing it out. And then, it's a 7-minute warm up, 3 minutes smashing it out, and then a 5-minute cool down. And that's been really good to be able to just see where I am in the plan and help me really gauge, do I need to speed it up? Can I speed it up? Do I need to pull back? So that's been a great part of the series. And then obviously the final type of run has been the long run, which is, I think, has probably been one of the most successful parts of these longer videos, is people are curious about these longer runs. And then obviously with the challenges of COVID and the restrictions, it's created a whole different way of having to do these runs. And I'm just I keep getting distracted by all these comments on the side. It's so good seeing you guys all getting connected. And I've just actually seen this is great. So Crash Davis, mate, I remember running in the trail event alongside you up in Sylvan last year and recognized you from YouTube. I said g'day as I ran past it, only for you to pass me. Wow, man, that's crazy. There's been so many. It's so funny. I'll be in a run or a race or something, and then someone's like, hey, and I have no idea who they are. I don't know if they've seen me before, if I actually know them, and I I totally apologize. It's always, it's because I don't. You guys are looking at me watching me filming, so I have no idea who's watching me, and then to have someone just like come up and meet and greet and as if they know me so well, I guess it's expected, but it's it's quite a. And then while we're running as well, you have no idea. So thanks for being here, Crash. Really do appreciate it. That's really cool. Really do appreciate it. A determined runner, mate. Thank you for being here as well. So good. It's so good to see so many people jumping in later. It's so good. I'm so overwhelmed. All right, let's continue on. So a bit more into it, right? So the training plan, it's a step up from last year. So last year I did also about an 18 to 20 week plan, but I only peaked at about 160 kilometers in terms of my max distance or total distance in a single month. Whereas this time around, I've actually maxed out at 250 kilometers, which is a huge PB for me, but it's a huge scale, right? It's basically 100 plus more kilometers than give or take of 100 plus kilometers more than what I did previously. So right there, it's already starting to talk about the amount of volumes that I'm doing, and I'm doing 5 because of COVID. It's actually been a blessing in disguise because I've been able to do 5 runs a week opposed to doing 3 to 4 when I was previously having to commute into the city, which was an hour and a half both ways when working in the city. So it's actually worked out a little better in that sense. The other thing I want to call out in this journey of this current plan is there's been a few touch and go moments around the getting numb feet, and there's been moments, a couple of weeks where it was just always there. Then I'll have a couple of weeks where it's nothing, and then some other weeks it comes later. And I've tried some different techniques from a lot of you guys have given your thoughts and comments. I've done like different lacing, which has worked like a charm, different shoes, which sometimes does help, but I'm thinking it's coming down to mobility and blood circulation. So maybe sometimes how tight things are. Did I do enough stretching? Have I, not moved around enough? And it also depends on the length of the run, or sometimes if I'm pushing too hard. I find like if I'm hitting too hard, that's when I'm getting that number feet, and it's always around 7K, between 7 and 12K, and then it will disappear. So it's a bit weird. But that's been an interesting thing from the plan so far. And I wanted to kind of, obviously it's such a main part of our lives now, especially in our running journeys, but just with everything, right? Which is COVID, right? COVID has has definitely, brought its set of challenges in so many different ways. And here in Melbourne, Australia, it started off not too bad in terms of we didn't have much restrictions. However, eventually, if you've been following along, we started off with a restriction of we weren't allowed to go past a 5K radius from our house, which meant that's where I had to stay and train 5K radius of where I live. And then we had an exercise limit come in of 1 hour only outside of home per day, and you couldn't do it with anyone else. And that in itself meant it was going to be a huge challenge for doing my longer runs, which if anyone saw for my 30K, I had to do 1 hour of outside of home. And then because of my driveway and the private laneway that goes into our property as well, I was able to build out a 400 meter course, which meant I was doing 52 times 400 meter repeats to get that extra 20K to build out that 30-kilometer run. And that was a beast, but it was so good to do mentally because, from that, it's really prepared me for what it's going to be like doing the marathon again, right? And I think that in itself also is a blessing in disguise because it's a type of training which you wouldn't normally do. I mean, yes, you still have to do the long run, but doing it in that confined space, that smaller distance, of being able to move around, it definitely puts a different mindset to it. So that's been quite interesting. But I'm better from it, right? And I think that's been great to be able to take that, use it to prepare me for what's to come. Yeah, can't really complain with that. I mean, I could and I have, but I think now it's definitely a positive takeaway. And obviously, the final thing about it was, the Melbourne Marathon was cancelled. They finally announced that it was cancelled because obviously the restrictions. Sorry, they changed the restrictions to be you're allowed to exercise 2 hours out of home, but that's up until like I think it's like the 28th of October, which means, unless you're, the top guns in the world, you're not going to be doing 2 hour marathon. So no one could train for it. So they moved out a virtual run till around, I think it's the 5th to 17th of December. But I'm not going to wait that long. I'm thinking that's not going to work for me. So I didn't want to delay further than 2 weeks, knowing that my plan was going to be 18 to 20 weeks anyway. So delaying my marathon for the New York City Marathon virtual run. It's not every day you get to say you did the New York Marathon. So that's coming up on the 17th of October, and that will be my actual marathon. And there is still a bit of a mindset that I'm playing with, that if, depending how that my first marathon goes this year, if I pull up all right, and depending of what result I get, I might still do the virtual marathon for the Melbourne Marathon as a marathon, or I'll do a half marathon. But I'm super keen to see what I'll be doing. Yeah, after the actual marathon. All right, I'm going to pause for a second just to have a look at what's coming up in the stream and see if I can answer along the way. Just going to build back up here. All right, Jeepers, so much conversation. I apologize if I missed something. So Jeff has said, yeah, it does. This is, it's quite overwhelming. I did not expect this turnout, and I think I can see about 18 different people in the channel right now. So that's more than I expected. I mean, I'm so happy to have you all here. So thank you so much. It's super cool, super cool. Going down here, I can see so much chit chat and banter between you all. It's so great. Yep, this is good. Yeah, Miles. So Miles has a super cool channel, and I can see you guys run with Brad's chatting with Miles around that. Miles has got his own kids PE channel because he is a PE teacher. So if you guys have got kids, or you think there's something that, I mean, look, I don't think it's just for kids, but I think we can all probably learn something from it. But yeah, if Miles, I'll have to try and find your channel and do a shout out in one of my next videos. I've actually cancelled all my links showing up in this stream just to avoid any spam bots coming in and putting dodgy links in and stuff. But yeah, Miles, put your name, if you haven't already, put your name of your PE channel so you can share it with the other folks, and I'm sure folks can look it up. Tim, have I ran with any clubs? No, I haven't. So nah, not officially. I know a few people from different running clubs, and I've met a few people from different trail running clubs as we've done the trail running. I think the only real unofficial club I've ran with, which was Running Heroes, when they were down here in Melbourne at the end of last year. And they're not really a club, right? I mean, it's more of a brand, but no, the short answer is no, Tim. Husky Runner has a really good question, and I'm so glad you've asked this. I've been thinking about this. I think one thing, and it's actually a segue into the next part of what I wanted to talk about, which is around YouTube and the plan. So I'm going to answer that a bit now, in the sense of, so the way I've been doing my content of recent, right, has been focusing on, just sharing the realities of running. And what's interesting is, I've always done this. Every time I've ran, I've filmed and I've talked and just shared how I've been. And then I haven't always put that into a video. So before doing the training series, I would film on something which I thought was relevant or thought that would only be good for the channel. Whereas the content that I've been doing for the marathon plan is, because of COVID, because of the plan as well, there's a lot more to talk about how I'm feeling just from the runs, but also, I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm doing so many different things at the same time that I started to realize, well, hey, maybe I should share this. Let's just share everything I'm going through, because it's a great place for me to kind of just get things off my mind as well. So if you've gone through my videos, you'll see that I have started to chuck in a few, actually not a few, quite a lot of different things. And I've started to realize that, you know, I was doubting myself in what I wanted to share because I was worried that you guys wouldn't like it, but it's turned out you guys love it. So I think you'll start to see a lot of continued running footage, running videos, but when I start to put a few different dynamics in there, I want to do more around the books I'm listening to and focusing down on that. I want to actually and I don't want to reveal too much because I haven't kind of structured it out, but yes, there will be a lot of different stuff, but very familiar as well. And I'm excited to share that a bit more. And I haven't really fleshed it out yet because I'm still so busy with this current training plan. But yes, there will be some different stuff. Obviously, running's not changing. But yeah, I'm excited to maybe share some new things. And there'll be more of that probably to be revealed after the plan. So you just have to stick around, man. You just have to stick around. All right. So Tim, coming back to your question, look, no, I haven't, and I think I haven't been one. Obviously, this year, obviously, it hasn't been possible, but I haven't been one to want to just go out and run because where I live, I can kind of just go straight out the door, and I'm running right near water or in a place where I enjoy. And for me, running has been more around wanting to just escape and just get out and do it by myself. Now, obviously, I run with Carla a lot. She's my running buddy, my running partner, and to be able to, training together and sharing that moment, that's quite good as well. But I've never actually really tried doing it with clubs and groups. I definitely think it could be something to try and maybe something to experience and, share that experience even on the channel, because I think from your perspective of what you're sharing is for you, it's been really good. And yes, I totally agree for the long runs. I can see the huge benefit there. And, when training with Carla, it's been super huge and super important. So I think it's an element different for everyone. And I think depending on what you're training for, it will have a different impact. But no, I really do appreciate the idea, Tim. It's definitely something I think everyone values in a different way. And Miles, yeah, so around COVID and all the restrictions, totally agree. And I don't want to put this in around restrictions and complaining and stuff. Totally agree. I think what they're doing is super smart in terms of having the restrictions and making sure people are doing the right thing so that we can get past this and move on quicker. So totally agree. Totally agree. And while I'm reading through, if anyone wants to check out Miles' running his PE channel, it's up on screen right now. All right. Okay, before I move on, I can see one more here. So, The Determined Runner, I've never listened to a book, but I'm hearing more and more for get through books that way. Is it Audible? Yes, 100%. So Audible, super important. If you jump back into any of my previous videos for the last 17 weeks, last 16 weeks, there's a link to the different books I'm listening to. Check them out. But for me, with the longer runs, and so first, the reason why I'm using audiobooks is music tends to make me want to go faster. So I use that to channel, my pace uplift and to throttle down. Whereas, I realize I've always struggled to do the slower runs, and especially when running with Carla, I always want to go faster. But if we were chatting, I'm going slower. So the audiobooks has been able to pull me down because I'm focusing on the conversation that's being held. I'm thinking about it. I'm not thinking about the running, and I'm getting into that trance, into that glide, and into that groove. So yeah, super beneficial for me. I don't think it's going to be the same for everyone, but I think check it out. Have a look. For me, what I did is I picked up all the books I've got sitting on my shelf that I wanted to read, and I just went and got them on Audible and just been smashing them out. And they have really deepened or I guess grown my horizon in terms of thinking, mindset. They've been such value, and I'm quite annoyed with myself that it's taken me this long to realize how important it is to do that reading or to get that information intake. So get on it. Okay. All right, so I'm going to continue on, and we're still on the deep dive, and then there'll be plenty of time for some more Q&A. And I'm just going to do a shout out to Remedy Kombucha because these guys are the best. So if anyone, so I don't drink alcohol. I know some people have said, oh, for your birthday, I would have shared this with you, but so I don't drink, but I do love kombucha. It's really good stuff. Now, I actually think Remedy has actually come to US and it's now come to Canada as well. And it's in the UK as well. So they're actually from a little local brand that started about 20 minutes down the road from me in a place called Carrum Downs. And now they're global. They're like huge and they're super, super good. Really good. All right. So coming back to the YouTube and the plan and how that journey has been. So we've talked about what the actual running journey has been, but how has the YouTube played up from it? So during this series, which has been a total so far of, I've done 16 weeks of content and I did these stats as of yesterday. Essentially, we are looking at, I've had an uplift of 7.2K views on my channel. And they're not all from the series, but probably 80% have come from this series. So huge amount of views. And they might not have all hit my marathon training plan, but I've had people come in and then go to other videos as well. So I've had a nice uptick. I've had a total of 480 hours of watch time, which is it's just crazy. And Tim, it was you today. You sent me a picture of yourself. You were watching my video on like your big 42-inch or 50-inch screen, and to have that, it just made my day, right? It's to think that someone's spending the time, and I know I'm making these videos for people to watch, but it's just weird to comprehend. I mean, I watch people's videos as well, but I'm usually watching it on my iPad, my phone, or computer. To have someone sitting back doing recovery and watching me do all this stuff while doing that, it's overwhelming, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you. So I said a stat earlier, the amount of subs that I've had come in from this series. I think I said 187. I wasn't correct. It's 143. I can see it in my show notes. So if you're one of those 143 new subscribers, hi, and thank you for being here. And I think a lot of you are. I think Miles, Determined Runner, Sean, you've come over from that, Kevin, Aaron FitLab, Run with Brad as well. Oh, and I can see the Chris, the running guy, is here as well. He's also come over since I've started this channel. So there's been so many of you that have come through from this whole experience, and then sharing of videos and community. And that running guy, his channel has been super important for that, of just sharing other YouTubers in the community. I think it's been super, super great to be able to see that. One more comment before I get into, one more point I wanted to mention before I get back into some of the Q&A is, I think the main takeaway from this series, from both the running and the YouTube. So if it was from the running, I've definitely learned that I love the longer run, and I definitely think that once I finish this marathon, that an ultra run is just the next step. It's just natural. I'm really realizing that I'm able to mentally comprehend how to strategize better for a longer run, because I'm finding it's easier to do a longer run than to do some of these shorter runs, just because I can't get into a groove. I need the longer period to warm up, get into that groove, and then I love the mental game. So that's definitely the huge takeaway for the running side. And then from the YouTube side, it has been being able to just find my comfort level and find my new way of sharing and creating content. And I think, it's there, and I'm still continuing to go through it, but, struggling through that doubt of, do you guys even like this, or will people watch this? But at the end of the day, I'm putting it out. If you watch it, you watch it. If you do, you do. It's great. Either way, I'm feeling super great about it. So I think for me, it's doing that more. And I think it's been great to be, and this touches on a bit more around the stuff that Stephen, the Husky runner, mentioned, was, I haven't just been touching on the running. I've been touching on the highs and lows. I've been touching on side content around books, lifestyle, food, gear. And I've even started to bring in stuff around investments, around passions and side hustles, and so much stuff. I think this is what I'm comfortable with. This is myself, and this is what I want to continue to share. So these have been two important things that I've learned along the way, and they've been super, super important to me. And I want to thank all of you for being part of the running journey of it and the YouTube journey. So thank you so, so much. All right. Now I've actually, so we're running pretty good in terms of time. I'm actually just left the rest of the stream. I intended this to be an hour stream, so we've got plenty of time for Q&A, and I'm going to quickly jump back up and see what we've got happening. And then if we don't get into, if you guys run out of questions, well, then I will, I've got a few down there as well, which I can chuck up. So looking at what I can see. Okay, Tim has said 2 bays 2021. Yep, already signed up. I'm doing the 28. I already got I got accepted. We're all good. I signed up on the night. I think I got in about 3 minutes before the site crashed, and then they said that everything was closed and there was no more entries. So yes, coming back for it. This will be my third time. Hopefully all goes to plan in terms of COVID. I think it's going to be interesting. You need to listen to Pink Floyd, then that will start to slow down. Okay, actually, I haven't listened to Pink Floyd, so I don't know if you're being serious or not, but maybe I'll have to check it out. Oh, jeepers! This is so good, guys. Really do appreciate it. I spoke that ginger beer. Funny guy. Yeah, so Kevin, this is an interesting point. So listening to reading a physical book. I've got all the books I've been listening to that I've been sharing with you guys. I'm pointing over there because that's where they're sitting. So I love the power of the value of seeing them on my shelf, but not getting to them has also been bugging me as well. So being able to listen and actually get through them is super good. But now I'm starting to realize, well, I've got these books, so I can probably re-gift them, share them to other people, and make sure that they're still getting the value that people are getting value out of them somehow. Oh wow, I just jumped so much. Okay, good. Okay, Edmund, hey, thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Carla's excited for ultras. So Carla, say for everyone, so Carla has done an ultra. She did 50K at the Surf Coast Century last year, and I was her crew. So that was super. That in itself is a challenge, being a crew for people that are doing ultras, and that was exciting. And she's the one that really got me into doing these races and encouraged me to do my first marathon, and it's inspired me to now beat her in her marathon time. But definitely super keen to do an ultra with Carla as well. So looking forward to doing that. All right, FitLab. Always appreciate you highlighting other small YouTubers in your videos. You never fail to highlight quality people and their channels and etc. Yeah, I appreciate this, and sometimes I get frustrated when I don't do it more. But at the same time, I want to make sure it's authentic and that I'm doing it in the manner of, if it's sitting in my mind and it's fresh and it's clear, that I'm sharing it then and there. And sometimes, like, for instance, Sunday will be my long run. And if there's videos that I've watched this week and they're sitting, I've documented and I've put it into my show notes in advance of my video. And, that way it's ready to go. But, what I'll do is, before I do my long run on Sunday, I'll actually, reflect for 15 minutes before bed on the Saturday night, and I'll look through and think, okay, is there anything that I've watched this week that I need to jot down? And if nothing pops up like this, it's not that it wasn't good content. It's not that I didn't want to, don't want to shout it out, but nothing pops up, so I don't overforce it, because I want to make sure when I'm talking about people's channels that I'm being 100% honest and it's authentic. And there's been people's videos which I've called out multiple times, and then there's been people which I've completely random, and they haven't even been around running, right? They've been around, just random videos that I've seen that I thought was of value to other people. So I do try to share the full spectrum of content as well. Hey, Stephen, the Husky Runner. Okay, speaking of side hustles, would love to know if you have any new stuff coming out for Ferry. Yes, I do, and this is part of potentially what's going to be popping up after the marathon training plan. And there's a few things there. So the whole bunch of things that I'm currently going through personally in terms of learning and everything that I want to be doing. So stay tuned for this. There will be a bit more of that changing, and probably more of a YouTube element to it as well. So yes, the answer is yes. Oh, the running master. Thanks for being here. Really do appreciate it. And thank you for the nice comment. That's really, I really do appreciate it. This is super. It's super overwhelming, super exciting, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Kevin, I'm not a runner at all, so yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point, and I think that's super key for what I've realized now is, there is people on this. I mean, you've just said it yourself that are here, and you're not runners, but you're enjoying my content, and that's what I like about that I've been able to create is, though I'm not a runner, I mean, so, though I'm a runner, I'm still creating content that is of value to other people, talking around mindsets, talking around journey, lifestyle, but also around the books and all the other content. And I think that's what's super important. And that's what I want to focus on a bit more is not just, and you've probably seen, I've changed my YouTube banner away from I like to run, I like to drone, and I like to film. Well, I haven't been doing much droning of lately, but I wanted to rebrand it a bit more, and there's probably going to be a bigger rebrand because I want to focus more on the running and the lifestyle and whatever that encompasses or what comes with that. So it's a very good point, Kevin. It's a very good point. Thank you, that running guy. I appreciate that so much. Jeepers. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just skimming through all these content. There's so much from what it's a lot to go through. Sean, with all the COVID restrictions changes in your plan and Melbourne Marathon cancelling, did thoughts ever cross your mind to give up or doubt in your training? Look, no. So to be honest, 100% no. And if you want to keep me honest with that, in my original kickstart to this plan, in the original video, which is 10 minutes, when I go through the Nike plan, I open up that video and I say, I'm going to this plan and I'm doing the marathon regardless. Whether the thing gets cancelled, whether it doesn't happen, I'm doing the marathon, I'm going for the goal, and that's the mindset. And I think that was super key because knowing that we would probably end up where we are now. I think last year when, if something changed or if this had happened and I hadn't mentally prepared for that, I would have been in a rut. It would have been super hard. And I think that's why so many people have struggled of recent is when these restrictions have come, people are like, I can't train. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to run. And, I know there's a lot of pressure at the moment and, yourself, Sean, you've decided to extend out to December and you've had to do a lot of your training on the treadmill and things like that. And you've adapted, but, you're still pushing through. And I think, kudos for that. And I think because, you've still got a plan forward, you've still got a way to operate and get it done. It makes a huge difference, even though it's a painful way to operate, doing the treadmills and those, confined space running. But same for me, I was like, nah, I've got to do this. I'm doing repeats and I'm stubborn as it seems. I'm committed and I really want to do it. I want to do it for myself. It's not for anyone else, right? So I think I haven't wanted to give up. I haven't doubted my training in terms of in a bit of training in terms I'm scared that because now that I'm having to change it for a couple of weeks, I'm scared in terms of what if I don't do the right training for the next 2 weeks. And I worked from Jason from the Running Alive channel. I picked his brain and got his thoughts on this. And, I'm feeling confident. I've just got to trust the plan. I just got to trust the process. And I talk about this in the video that I just released today because it's super scary, but I think I just got to keep showing up, keep doing what I'm doing. And keep pushing through because so far so good, right? Hey, Brad, this is a very good point, man. I mean, I'm been trying to get. Actually, I have been monetized before they had the 1,000 subs and the 4,000 hours. I actually was a YouTube partner and I made a total of $17. So I'm keen to get that happening again. But I love this that you got to pay back the Mac. It all makes sense. Oh, Jeff, that's great to hear, man. That is so good to hear that you guys are able to start to run again because I can't wait to be able to I think it's just to get out and try some different trails and just explore and then just to be running with Carla again. It's going to make a huge difference. Super excited for you, mate. Yes, run with Brad. So 100%, I think you should be doing it. And I think, within this community, I think it's super important that, we do it honestly and openly and share that because Vince also shared this as well. Vince, he said that, if he's going to go buy something and he knows that someone else has an affiliate program and he's buying something anyway, you may just click on one of their links and let them get a percentage of the commission, right? Now, one thing to think about that is I can't do it for Canada. Canada can't do it for me. I can't do it for America. America can't do it for me. It has to be in your own area. So if you're an affiliate associate for Canada, or associate for America, or associate for Australia, or wherever else you are, UK, etc., you need to do it in those domains. So I tried doing it for someone else. They got the click through, but they didn't get the kickback in terms of any percentage. So I think you need to do it, and just make sure you follow the policy in terms of saying, look, by the way, I do get commission on if you purchase something through this link. And I think it's a great way to just be able to make that little bit of side income, especially if if you guys and girls are upgrading, whether it's your video cameras, gear, and stuff. Every dollar counts, right? And it helps, and especially putting it into this, like you said, Brad, around your laptop, right? It all helps. It all helps. So do it. Just do it. You gotta meet a certain threshold, like 3 sales in 6 months, and it's different for every region and whatnot. But yes, do it. All right, Fit Lab. I agree. I'm a fitness guy, not a runner, but Chris's videos are always so positive and uplifting. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And we've connected multiple times and had a few chats. And I think when we first connected, it wasn't about the running. It was just about our passion to to share and to help other people and encourage. And that's what I love about the content that you create as well. Even though it's of such high value in terms of the fitness area in people's lives, it's the intention behind it is for people and to helping them grow and achieve their best results. So it's super good. Oh, guys, this is I'm feeling the love. Feeling the love. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Brad. This is wow. Okay, now now I'm getting super overwhelmed. It's appreciate it, guys. I really do. I really do appreciate it. Okay, another question from Tim. What is the big dream, number one for running and number two for channels? So so for number one for running, well, I'm going to break it up. So obviously I want to get this goal for the marathon. And then I think depending on how I feel, I think it would be to get, there's a number of different, so it's marathon goal in terms of sub 4:25. And then I'm still aiming for a sub 2 half marathon. And then I would like to be able to do at least 2 marathons in one single year, and then an ultra. At this point, that's what I'm looking at. But there's probably a lot of different things in between, but that's currently what I'm thinking and seeing and feeling. Yeah. For my channel, jeepers. I mean, well, the way I see it, I would like to do this full time, or have it running something that I can do. Whether I'm spending full time of that many hours on it is a different thing, but I would like to have this as something which I'm spending and committing a lot of time to. And it's what that looks like is I'm pursuing the idea of 1,000 fans rather than just getting 1,000 subs, but actually I want 1,000 loyal fans, or 1,000 people like the conversations we're having now. So we've got 17 people in the chat right now that I can see, and you guys are all just having so much fun. This is the pure community that I love. And I know there's quite a few people that couldn't make it because of time zones, and we've already chatted and whatnot. But if I think at the moment there's probably so there's 18 of you here right now, all chit-chatting and sharing. To me, that's so important, right? And not to say that my total sub 500 amount of subscribers are not important to me, but what I want to really be able to create is a community where everyone's engaged, right? Because I'd rather have 1,000 people which are engaged like this than having 5,000, 10,000 or more where it's just someone's just clicked sub and then disappeared, right? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't help me. But at the end of the day, I'm not actually giving content or value to someone. Because if it's just a bot, or if it's just someone that's clicked it and disappeared, they're not actually even receiving everything I'm creating. I love that I can create this content, and then I'm reading comments from you guys that are saying like, you're loving my content, it's so positive and stuff. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm sharing a journey, I'm documenting, but I want you guys to learn something from it. So I hope, Tim, that answers your question. All right, just going. Good morning. It's good stuff. Good stuff. And thanks, Cam. Look, it's It is. It's a slippery slope, right? Because we are our own worst enemies when it comes to this stuff, and I know it's easier said than done as well. Because I say it here, and you and I have a lot of chats, and we we have a lot of ongoing conversations about different things that we want to do, or you want to do, or I want to do, and I want to encourage you as well, right? Same thing. Don't be scared. You got to give things a go, and I appreciate you being here, buddy. Um, and I appreciate you saying that. I'll make it. That's great. I do really appreciate it. Uh, yeah, FitLab. You need to do it, man. I think especially as your channel is going to start blowing up very soon, and we both know it's true. You want to get on that ASAP. uh, yeah, Husky Runner. I think you should because you're actually you're very good at putting product placements in your content and you don't even realize it. So you're showing your Garmin all the time. You're showing, whether it's coffee equipment that you're doing, you're showing your camera gear, and you're very good with that. And I mean, you market already with, your photography and stuff. So I think just start dumping it in there and don't overdo it. Just saying, hey, look, I'm using this, or if people are interested, it's down there, right? And if people want to click through, they will, because I've jumped into people's stuff and like, hey, what's that thing you're using, right? And it's like people have asked about my buffs. I'm using Fitletic buffs, to cover my hair and my mouth. And I've had more comments on that than I have in any of my gear. But I didn't have anything about it, so I started adding a link. It's totally random, but it's worth a shot. And Kevin, yes, I could. I could, and there's a few ways around this, and I've got one actually. I actually do have a US one. The problem is I haven't been able to convert the dollars that I've gotten from that into my Australian Amazon account. So it's it's not really worth it. I'd rather people click on my Australian one and get money there or some kickback, because I think I've got about $30 sitting in Amazon US, but I can't do anything with it because I have to buy from Amazon Australia. And look, I'm seeing a few more comments around this. So maybe there's a way to link it all together. I think there is something on Amazon called One Link, but which actually does exactly what you're saying. You can go in from multiple ways and it comes into one, but Australia is not part of that service yet. So yeah. I can see you guys continuing to chat about it. Wow, there's so many comments. This is so good. Sean, Kyla has to run a faster time, so you're doing a marathon training plan vlog. And that's actually a funny thing to say, because here I am trying to get this time, and knowing her, I mean, her first marathon was the time she got. So her first marathon is when she got her 4:26, and she did that at like 30 degrees as well. Like, she absolutely smashed it. So she's probably going to end up beating it sooner than later anyway. So maybe I need to aim for something a bit higher, but I think all I want is just bragging rights for at least a year anyway. Oh, jeepers. Yeah, so FitLab, you can send a link. I think there's a few things you just need to be mindful with it. Obviously, you can't do family, and you're not meant to do family or people that are on the same network as you. So just be mindful of that. Thanks, Mile. Really appreciate it, mate. I mean, like as I said, this is what it's all about, right? And I think what I love here is everyone knows everyone, right? Or now does anyway, right? And there's so many of us that are in so many different locations, yet I feel like we're so close as well. Some of you have done calls with already. We've done a few chit chats, and we've done a few things on the side. So super great, super love it. It's so good. Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. I think at the moment the channel, I mean, everything's okay. So I only wanted to do this for an hour, but I actually have a couple of questions. I'll just give everyone a chance, and this is for more for the runners. It's a chance. And before I do that, I'm just gonna put that in there so you can see that rolling now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang. Okay, so the first thing is question, and you can put it in the comments. If someone doesn't have an answer, that's fine. I just want to put it up here because if people find this video, it's an opportunity for them to answer as well. Do you listen to music, podcasts, or audio, so audiobooks or anything, while running or not? Right? That's the first question, and we have discussed this already a little bit. And my answer to this is yes, primarily audiobooks now in the majority of the run, and then if I need to start throttling or upping the pace or tempoing or to go, that's when I chuck on the tunes. The next question I want to chuck up just to put in there for everyone is, what is your go-to running shoe brand? Now, if you don't know this already, mine is New Balance 100%, and it's actually the 880V 8, 9s, and 10s at the moment, but I think it's different for everyone. But if people want to chuck it in there, or you can leave it below, and this is once again more so for anyone that drops by later if they want to chuck it in. And then the final question I had was, what is your favorite distance to run, casual and for events? And I think this is interesting, and this has evolved so much for myself. And from a casual perspective, it's probably just a 5K, but I think after this marathon, I would like to make that 5K or a 10K. And then from an event perspective, it's definitely a half marathon. That's the ones I love so much. And I think once I've done this marathon, it's probably going to start to change as well over the years. I think it will. All right, we'll jump back to some more Q&A. Okay, Chris, I need a tutorial on how you're doing this live stream. The comments popping up at the bottom. It's a good point, man, and I think that's a very good point. I think I can probably share that. And look, don't give me the credit, man. I'm giving 100% shout out to Brad from My BS Life. He's the one that got me onto this, and he said it's very easy to get into. And I had a look around, did a quick research, and there's some super cool things in here, right? So I can actually plan things in advance to make them pop up. I can put banners, you can put that preloading video, and this is all free. This is all free. Obviously, it's still got the StreamYard branding on it, but for free, I mean, it's so good. I think if I'm going to continue to do this on a regular basis, I will probably I'll pay for it and start to rebrand it so it's just always the same way. And there's so much stuff that you can put here that just stays here ready to go for next time as well. So super cool. And you can actually use this to stream across Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all these different places all at the same time. And I think Kevin's done this as well. So Kevin knows what I'm talking about. That whiteboard behind me is for YouTube notes. So you can probably just see it up there. I've been tracking in the last couple of weeks daily count of my YouTube subscribers just to visualize it. And I've got the top saying 1,000, and every day I'm just putting what it's going up to. It's just something here to motivate me. But I've actually got another whiteboard over that way, which actually has all my game planning, so I can actually see that from my bed. So I'm actually sitting in my bed at the moment. But yes. Hey Riff, for future races, marathons, what training plans do you plan to use? Okay, so it's a very good point. So I've been using the Nike Run Club app, and look, that's been my go-to. It's been horrible this time around. Look, it's great to house it, and I love the way it looks and all that jazz, but it's stuffed up, right? It hasn't been adapting to the plan, and to be honest, so that's my straight answer. I think what I would like to try next is Garmin, because I'm obviously using my Garmin watch, and after seeing how, and this is a 935, after seeing how Stephen from the Husky Runner has been doing his couch to 5K, and that the plans that you can do in that, and seeing some of the settings, I'd be curious to try that out and see what it does for a marathon or for a half marathon and whatnot. So I've never actually really followed a coach in general. I've always followed an app or something. So that's probably what I'll do. I like using the apps because to me, all I need is some structure, some routine. And I think from the stuff outside of that, whether it's mobility, whether it's strength training and all that jazz, I'm putting that in my own way, because whether it's through physio and injury management and stuff, I've got a bit of a routine which I've picked up over the years, and I continue to add to it. But from the running side of things, I'm just following an app, and I think I'll try some of the Garmin tools and techniques that they've got in their plans next time. Okay, so I can see people answering my questions around, what are we listening to? So Miles has said audiobooks, Husky. You said listen to music, but typically nothing. That's cool, man. And I think that's important as well, to be able to listen to nothing. And actually, I think this could make a very good video to talk about, the benefits of using audiobooks, the benefit, or listening to podcasts or whatever, and the benefits of music, and then the benefits of nothing, right? It's like when we say we run naked and we don't run with our watch. It does make a huge difference mentally as well. The Running Master. I listen to the Rambling Runner when doing a long run. Some great story. Yeah, that's a good point. I've heard a lot of people listening to different running podcasts, and I mean it's relevant, right? So why not? I think that's great. Sean has said, used to listen to music, not so much anymore, and this is useful as I can hear cyclists passing. Yeah. Now that's a good point as well. Where I live, I'm not really in a spot where I have a lot of cars and stuff, but I think, yeah, safety first, guys. Safety first. You got to do it. And there's spots where I'll turn it down and things like that. Yeah, I think that's super important to make sure you're being smart about. And in races as well, trail runs, I don't usually do it as much, just because you need to be able to listen to people. Whereas if it's a marathon, I mean, yes, you're out in an open area, so 100%. Okay, well, I'm getting lots of stuff now. Since starting YouTube, I don't listen to anything anymore. Okay, interesting. Miles of running, I try to listen with my breath while I run. It's pretty calming. Okay, yep, makes complete sense. Okay. No, this is good, Tim. It's a bit of everything for different stuff. I mean, look, everything has its different vibe and feeling, and I think this is cool. This is great. Hey, Filipino wife, Filipino life. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. No, I find running is one of the few times in a day when I can switch off a technology. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think, and sometimes I forget about that. Like, if my music is changing or something, and just listening to the birds, and maybe I should do that in one of my videos, is actually not putting any running music behind it, and let you guys hear what can hear, actually, the birds and just the water. And I think one thing which actually also, it's a bit weird, about the running, is when you get out and it's an early morning and you just have that fresh smell as well. Whether it's coming from water or the grass or just the coolness in the air. It's, I think, with the sounds and just listening to nature, but also the smells, it goes a long way. Yeah, that's true. You don't always take your color. It is. Yeah. It's always funny because sometimes I'm listening to my music or whatnot, but I think it's good for it. It's good to have the different dynamics and to be able to listen, to listen, to not be able to listen, because yeah, what if you're racing and something goes wrong and you can't listen anymore? And I think some people would struggle with that. So being able to be in touch with yourself, in tune with yourself, and be able to, you know how you're feeling without having to throttle, because I think that's a good point. If I was trying to throttle down and dig deep without my music, it would be a bit of a challenge. I think it would be. Shoes. Okay. Tim, cool. I think there might be a few others that like that. What side of the road do Australians drive on? Oh, actually, it's funny. I haven't driven for like 6 months because I've been stuck in COVID. But yeah, we drive on the left hand side. Yep. Tim, 100K, mate. That's epic. Look, probably one day, man. Probably one day. Miles be running. You like Nike Pegasus? Okay, nice. And Husky, yeah, man, dude, you've got so many different shoes. And I was gonna say, yeah, you like the Hoka ones, so I know you've been using them for a while. So I was almost gonna say to Tim that, yeah, you're probably one of the the guys that love the same type of shoe. This is a question for Chris and all the runners. What would be helpful to you guys to see my fitness channel? I'm a celebrity trainer and covering varied topics. Yeah, look, I mean, look, for me, I think it's strength and conditioning. So I'm doing a lot of yoga, mobility, and focusing on my weak points where I know that I have problems, just because where I've had injuries. So I think, you could build a collection of assets And look, this has come from my physiotherapist. So, but building a collection of assets which is focused, like if you need to get your glutes in check or in set for running, this is for you. Or if if you're having knee pain, this is for you. If you need to build strength in your calves, this is for you. If it's in, so really focusing and narrowing down, because for me, I'm doing the same amount of different exercises, and then some with more, I guess, whether it's with extra resistance and things like that, depending on what I need to do. But some of that routine basic stuff is so important, because I'm doing it 15, 20 minutes per day, every day. And I'm doing that throughout the week, where that's probably better than just doing a 1 30-minute, 40-minute session once a week, because I'm still getting that, it's like, a percentage a day kind of thing. But, you've probably got a better way of, interpreting that and sharing that, because you're the expert in the field. But to be able to say, well, look, if you focus on doing this, and then if you focus on doing this, and if you focus on doing this, that should give us a strong foundation. And I think that's one important thing for any new runner, especially, is having the understanding of what is a foundational, cross training requirement in terms of exercise and maintenance and strength and conditioning. Because usually we find out the hard way, because we run, we get so excited with the runner's high, we're getting all this growth, all this achievement. Next thing you know, we're getting an injury, and then we realize, oh no, you need to be doing this, or you need to be rolling, or you need to be doing so anything like that, Aaron, I think would go a long way. Andy, my man, is in the house. Thank you for being here. Oh, dude, I'm so grateful for you to being here, man. I mean, we've been on this journey for a very long time together, and I remember when you did your first live stream and me showing up, and here you are doing it for me. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate it, mate. All right, just get us Aussies. Yes, yes. Wow, wait, are you serious, Cam? That I've actually increased my sub count? Like, are you serious? Like, just from this live stream? No way. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone right now. Oh wow, I'm on 496. Cheapers, this is crazy. I don't know if people have shared this or something, but wow. Okay, thank you guys. Wow, we're almost there. We're almost there. Miles be running. I have a pair of Bondi. They give me oh yeah, blisters. Actually, I've been pretty lucky. I don't get blisters. I do get chafe though. We won't go there though. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, the Garmin coach, it looks to be pretty good, so I'm keen to try that out, Miles. I really am. And this is a good point, right? And we kind of touched on this. I think it's to be able to be in tune with yourself. I think that's super important. Brad, that's a good point as well. Yeah, different equipment, and I think that could go a long way with some of the building some videos which is focused on some of those Amazon affiliates as well, because you're bringing content to us saying why you need this, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive stuff, but just saying, look, you buy this and it's going to change the way you run, or you buy this, it's going to double your endurance, or you buy this, it's going to make your strength conditioning 2 times easier or something, right? And I think you can back that up with the right information, because you have the knowledge, and you've got the experience to be able to provide that value. Yeah, stretching, 100%, man. If you can put stretching in there, I think this is all key. Thank you so much for being here, buddy. So much. Wow, I'm just so looking for this. So much stuff here. Yeah, look, Brad. I mean, look, your channel's grown pretty quick, and I think what I like about your channel is, even though, yeah, you might not know what your niche is, but you have such a it's broad, but I think anyone comes in knows there's going to be a bit of action, a bit of fun, and it's going to be consistent in terms of the way you approach your content. So that's the consistent part. And otherwise, people just jumping in, they know they're going to get a whole bunch of different action in sport. And maybe that's your niche, right? That you're pretty hardcore, you're full on, you're motivated and driven, and that's what people are getting every time. I think you meant to. I think training for. I think training for longer. Longer. You like the training for longer? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I think this is true, man, right? You tend to, I'm the same. I'm the same. Oh, Stephen, this is good. This is good. From couch to the fridge, but we, this is, yeah, it's all good, man. All in good time. Oh, this is good. This is so good as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that high. I really am. I can't wait to finish the marathon training plan and just that finish line vibes. And I think that's been so evident in all of my videos for the last 16 weeks is the long run and being able to just feel that 15-second high. And I actually talk about it in my last video is it's just amazing. It's worth all that pain, sweat, and tears, right? So, so good. So, so good. Yeah, I think get on it more, man. Give them a go. It's weird because now I've ran so many halves. I think I've done probably done about 12 this year. Obviously they're not races, but they're just training. But super good. Yeah, I think it's like 5:30 for Vince or 6:30, so it's probably a bit too early. I can't expect him to be here. The poor guy's just started a new job and he's so busy, but he's hustling. He's hustling. Oh, that's risky business, Brad, because I'm scared that, yeah, just be careful, man. I mean, I know people that have gone through this and never stretched and never had an injury, but last thing you want is yeah, something which is going to yeah, hit you for a six. Oh wow, so many. All right, see you, Stephen. Thanks for being here, mate. Really do appreciate it. We're going to finish up soon as well. Thanks, mate. Catch you later. Um, be careful selecting what garment case you use in the future plans. Jeff is walking around, and from memory, the other two focus more on running. You can also. Okay, that's interesting, Sean. And Sean, you seem to know a lot about these garments, man. And I'm gonna call you out. You need to get that YouTube content happening because you're always keeping me honest with such high value little tips and tricks. And you link me to this, you link me to that. You've got a lot of knowledge, so I think you get out and share it. It's really good. I appreciate it. Any on run three. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Okay, okay. This is interesting. Hey, Brad, the other Brad, my BS live. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you so much. We've been talking so much. I mean, I was only meant to be here for an hour, and here we are, an extra 18 minutes over already. And we've gone through so much. I really do appreciate it. And this whole StreamYard thing's it's going so good. So 100% shout out to you, 100%. And you're asking about the hair. Look at this. This is crazy stuff. It's I'm gonna have to start being like Kevin and putting a little I don't even know what you call it. A little thing up. Anyway, oh, you're in the car. You're in the car, man. What the heck? I hope you're driving safe, buddy. Ah, jeepers. Dangerous stuff. But no, thank you so much for getting me onto StreamYard, mate. This has been so good. It's been a breeze, and I love it. It's so good, so good. I actually ended up doing another live stream with someone else today. Wasn't I didn't run it. Someone else invited me into it, and that was on LinkedIn. And it just so happened that he was using StreamYard as well, and I got to experience it from being on the other side and jumping in and being part of that. So it was kind of good to be able to be on that, and then me doing this tonight as well. So it worked out so well. When you said this, Miles, I literally imagined the sound of Brad saying, "Hey, look, it's me, Brad, from my BS Live." Ah, Jesus. Yeah, this is bad, boys. I got to take this off. Ponytail it, but Kevin, so there's there's the ponytail at the back, but you do the thing at the top in the middle, right? Like, is that still called a ponytail? Like you do, like I don't know what it's called. I don't want to offend. I don't know. it's uh, it's I don't know what it's called. Man bun it, or is it a bun? I don't know. I could, but I don't know. I've got to see what Carla wants me to do as well. I need to get her permission. Man bun it. I don't know, boys. I don't know. It's I'm actually getting used to these headbands as well, and the beanies. Plus, it's still quite cold here. Like it's like 12, 11 degrees here today. So I think once it hits summer, I'm gonna have to get creative. I don't know, man. In your previous video, the one how you've got it kind of sitting up in the middle and it kind of fountains out. I don't know what it's called. Maybe. Ah, jeepers. This is like a top ponytail. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like you need to do a YouTube video on this, Kevin, and do like all the different angles and like what is a man bun versus what is like a top ponytail or something, and just do really super intense. It'd be so good. Ah, jeepers. Rocking the man bun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, I would like it on the record that Chris, you told me it was 8:30 a.m. my time. You were off by an entire hour. Okay, I am sorry. I keep, and for the record though, you do the same thing. You think it's one time here or it's this time zone business, man. It's all over the place. It's I feel like I get it right, and then we're like off by a day, or we're off by like 12 hours, or the it might be like, oh yeah, yeah, it's 7:30, but no, it's 7:30 p.m. It's jeepers. I'm sorry, man. Jeepers, jeepers. Oh wait, it's called a fountain tail. Is that legit? Like, I don't know if you're being. You're googling this right now. I can imagine. There's going to be like in a week's time from now, men's hairstyles with Kev. Ah. Hey, this could be interesting. I don't know if I could rock bowl. That's yeah. I don't know. I mean, just look at this lushness. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. uh, we could do a live stream of who does it better. Jeepers. It's this is funny. This is great, guys. I'm loving this so much. Yeah, sorry, Brad. Sorry. Ah, jeepers. Oh, the banter's so good. The banter is so good. Oh, good grief. Ah, just jump. So we've still got 14 people in the chat. This is great, dude. I mean, all of you so much. I really want to just appreciate, and we are going to wrap up shortly. I need to get some beauty sleep before tomorrow because I need to rest before the run. But super appreciative of all of you being here, popping in, whether it was a small comment, a question, or just jumping in and sharing the love, right? And sharing with the community and answering questions and leaving comments. It's been super good. And to be honest, I was so nervous of doing this. I was so nervous. It's quite scary. But now that I've done it, it's great to see that people have showed up. And what I'll have to do is look to find a bit of a cadence to do this on a regular routine and find some time to be able to get this, to maybe switch it up a bit to make sure I can get other people across in my subscriber community on the stream as well, just because of the different time zones. So really do appreciate it. Sean, you've just did your folks sing happy birthday, Elliot, or did you blow it? Yeah, we did. So just to refresh, so we ordered pizza. We had some cake. We did some candles. We did all that jazz. It was pretty low key. Hanged out with my nephews today. We just played video games and stuff. So it was really good. It was really relaxing. Not that we could go anywhere anyway. So it was good. Actually, I don't think anyone ended up guessing how old I was. I'm just looking back through the history, and I don't say. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Oh, kick it with Dang. How you doing, man? Thank you for being here. Really do appreciate it. And I'm probably going to wrap up in about 5 minutes, just so I can make sure I get my beauty sleep before tomorrow's run. But so glad for you to be here, man. We were just chatting that going through all this, and one, I'm super overwhelmed with the amount of folks that have dropped by. I think we've had, I think we peaked at maybe 19 different unique viewers or more. And having you all jump in here and be able to share, and a lot of you know each other. I'm so grateful. I really do appreciate it. So thanks, mate, for being here. I don't know what time it is for you either. It's probably super early. Fit Lab. Okay, I'm off to go clean up the dump that doubles as my office. As yeah. Thank you, Chris, so much. I mean, thank you, Aaron, so much. I really do appreciate it, and for you dropping by as well, mate. And I'm super excited for your next video because I know you've been working on it. Well, I know you've been working on quite a few big bangers, so super excited to see what you got, mate. Thanks for being here. Kevin, 28. You're guessing I'm 28. 37. Wait, are you sharing your ages or are you guessing my age? Because I'm not 37. Jeepers. Funny stuff. But if you're 37, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll get myself in trouble. This has been great. So look, in the final couple of minutes, I just want to ask one more question for everyone, and this is off the cuff. Is basically what I wanted to ask was, what would you want to see in these live streams? Is this kind of banter, just chilling, hanging out, talking this kind of things, or would you, what would you like to see in these live streams? And maybe I'll probably ask this a bit more in my videos as well, and build up some content. And Brad from My BS Life, I had mentioned that, I chatted around some of the structure and some of the content to put in this, but I would probably like to make this as a regular cadence and bring something here, on a regular basis, right? So I've got to start thinking about, well, what will that look like? What will that mean? So if you've got ideas, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wing it anyway, and I'm going to make it happen. It's more about, just giving you guys a chance to give me your ideas as well. So I'll let that play for the next couple of minutes. Oh, it's early, man. Super early. That's great. I mean, that's usually the time I'm getting up as well. That's why I wanna probably go to bed very soon. Good to hear the good last show. Thank you. No, dude, you do not need to apologize at all. I appreciate you stopping by, and every minute of someone being here is important to me. So really do appreciate it so much. That's okay. 37's young, boys. I'll get caught up with the entire live when I'm not driving. My friend, I just want to drop by, say hi. I could at least keep one eye on the road instead of being. Good stuff, man. I appreciate you being here, Brad. Really do. And yes, please drive safe, my friend. Don't do anything stupid. You need to make sure you're driving safe. Do you have hidden? Do I have hidden talents? So some of you would know this, and majority of you wouldn't. Is I play the drums. Been playing for a very long time. I haven't played for a while because of COVID, but yeah, I used to teach drums as well. So that's probably my hidden talent. Yeah, there's probably a lot of other things, but I'll try to reveal a bit more of that and share some different things over the coming weeks as well. I've actually asked a bit about some of this stuff in my current video I'm working on, so keep an eye out for that. We're back to this. All right, boys and girls, I am going to wrap it up. I need to go rest. So what I'm going to do is I should be able to press this, and this little thing down the bottom pops up, as you can see. It starts saying we're doing Q&A, and then it says thanks for popping by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. It helps a lot. But I think I've actually got another one as well. Thanks. Oh yeah. So I've got this little one at the bottom. See, thanks until next time. So this is meant to be my outro that I'm chatting and saying thank you and appreciate you being here. Love it all. Which is true. I totally do love you all being here, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I think that's what it's all about, right? I've had such a ball today to be able to do this. This has gone so much better than I expected. So I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I didn't know if people were going to rock up. I didn't know if it was going to be two people, which is fine. But I've had quite a lot of you, so thank you so much. Play some drums in your next stream. That's a challenge because my drum kit is currently boxed up and away. But I want to get an electric kit actually, so I don't have to, because it's currently 11 p.m. right now. But I've had an electric kit, I wouldn't have to worry about neighbors and stuff like that. So it's definitely something I've been thinking about, not for the live streaming, but so I can play and get back into it and I don't have to worry about neighbors. I don't really like electric kits, but it does enable me to be able to play more and more. Kevin. Our weight training, my man. It's okay, man. You do not need to apologize at all. These time zones are such a beast. But I do appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. And I will try and find some different times to make sure that everyone gets a chance to pop in at different times. Really do appreciate it. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you, Kevin. Really do appreciate it. I know you're doing a live stream soon, so I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, Mile. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, likewise, even though I can't see your face, but appreciate you and love seeing you in the comments and the chit chat. So once again, thank you, everyone. Really do appreciate it. New video came out today. I'm going to do the plug. New video came out today. Make sure you check it out. Use the timestamps because there's a buffet of information, something there for everyone. And I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to jump back into this video once it's all hosted and shared and uploaded and whatever it needs to do. I'll probably see if I can add some content and details and links below from some of the show notes and give you guys a chance if you wanted to come back and recap and see what we've talked about. So that's it from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do the whole shebang, and hustle. Ciao.